Hi, Jewish Mom. So this week I want to talk with you. I think I've mentioned in the past in one of my posts on the blog that Rabbi Niven had a really a special kind of chabura which he formed for several weeks called the Belief Notebook Chabura. And this was, I think, I've been doing the chabura for 7 years this month, as I told you last week, and this I think was one of the most powerful. It's one of the most simple and also the one of the most powerful and life transforming things, chaburas that I ever did with Rabbi Niven. So basically, with the Belief Notebook Chabura, I'm not going to go into all it's more complicated than this, but just on a very basic level, all you need to know to kind of get started on this is every time in your life you have a disempowering experience, an experience that makes you feel bad about yourself, then you sit down. And during the Belief Notebook Chabura, we would try to do this at least once a day. Try and think of something disempowering that had happened that day. And then write down what happened, write down the event, okay? And then write down the false belief that event made you feel about yourself, and then the true belief. Okay, so I've discussed this before. If you want to know exactly an example and everything, you can go back to you can search for the words belief notebook on my blog and it will come up. As an aside, I just want to tell you, Rabbi Niven is going to be starting a new chabura in early February. I think on February 7th. It's a 3-month chabura for beginners, for people who've never been in the chabura before. And it's a whole new thing. It sounds really, really exciting, called The Journey. And it's more interactive, set up in a whole new way, it sounds really exciting. And I can't recommend Rabbi Niven's courses more. They're really, really life changing, really, really helpful for living a calmer, happier, saner life. You can get the details at www.newchabura.com. That's NEWCHABURA, newchabura.com. Okay, so going on. So basically, for the last few months, every morning I've been sitting down and thinking of an experience, that disempowering experience that happened. It could be, for example, today I yelled at my children, "I am a monster." Okay, so the false belief is mothers who yell at their children are abusive monsters. Okay, the true belief is sometimes mothers yell at their children, and it's sometimes it's something to work on, but sometimes it happens, and that's okay. Okay. That's just like a vague example. So I just want to read to you. So basically, I got up now to my 50th belief. My 50th belief in my belief notebook. And so I thought it was a good time to go back and to share with you some of my true beliefs. And so basically now, like one of the main things about doing this work, is that then every day, in addition to writing down a disempowering experience and going through the steps, what's very important also is to spend 5 minutes a day reading through your true beliefs. And I just find it's really, really incredible, like just the ways in which it's really decreased the amounts, it's decreased how often, dramatically decreased the amount of times that I feel disempowered, and kind of like old disempowering thoughts that I used to have in many cases kind of disappeared because I've dealt with them. I've replaced them with a true belief. Okay, so I want to share with you a bunch of things, a bunch of beliefs. I already have 50, but I want to share maybe around 10 of them with you, which I thought might also apply to you and also help you. So the first one is, it's crucial for me to listen to and do what I need to feel good without self-judgment. Again, it's crucial for me to listen to and do what I need to do to feel good without self-judgment. Okay, so this means, for example, I think the specific incident was this. I woke up in the morning feeling really tired. I went back to sleep for an hour and a half. And usually this brings up all kinds of negative feelings about myself, like I'm such a loser, and I'm really lazy, and why don't I have as much energy as other people, and why do I have to sleep more than other people, and bring up all sorts of negative thoughts. But this is the true belief. for me to be happy and me to be functioning well and for me to be thriving, I really need to be I really need to be listening to my body and taking care of myself without self-judgment. Okay? That's an important one. Moving on. Okay. Um, uh, I am a human mother of human children with my own strengths and weaknesses, and that's fine. Okay, again, I'm a human mother of human children with my own strengths and weaknesses, and that is fine. Okay, I think so often with our children, you know, especially like we'll see other mothers that mother in different ways. I once years ago I read this wonderful book. It's a very very validating book called Mother Styles by Janet Penley. It's worth it to get it just to but basically what she does is she goes through different kinds of personality types and the various equally wonderful ways and big, equally good ways in which these different types of mothers mother. And it was very validating for me to find myself, my own personality type in there and the way that I mother. And also to see, my mother-in-law's very into very into like going on big outings for the kids and big trips for the kids. And she was there also. And then my neighbor who mothers in this way and this mother who bakes for the kids, which is something I don't enjoy doing, over there and seeing all the different, like all the human mothers of human children with all of our strengths and weaknesses, and that's okay. Okay. Moving on. 1 second. Okay. This is something I told you, I mentioned before about the yelling, but I'm going to say exactly my true belief related to the yelling. It's better to find more gentle ways to discipline, but yelling sometimes does not mean I'm an abusive monster. Okay? I'm working on it. I'm trying to yell less, but if it occasionally happens, it's okay. It's okay. Like sometimes mothers yell, sometimes mothers lose it, and that's okay. Working on it, working on making it less and less, but if sometimes it happens, it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so also related to motherhood, taking small, consistent steps to improve the situation can work miracles. So I wrote this regarding a specific child that I wrote a post about, who's having a lot of challenges in school, and thinking about that child, I can get like completely disempowered and thinking this child is never going to succeed in school. This child is never going to succeed in life because they have this problem and this problem, this problem. It's impossible. We're not going to be able to work this out. It's just going to be. But I reminded myself how many times in the past I was just thinking of it, just like off the top of my head. I can think of like 10 instances, 10 times with various children from this family, from my family, that they had a problem which I thought was completely insurmountable. Which really got me into like a panic mode. Like, how are we possibly going to solve this child's problem? How are we possibly going to fix this child? And out of all of those 10 cases, they're all mamash completely forgotten. They are completely a thing of the past. And really the secret is taking small steps, small consistent steps to improve the situation. Even I think 5 minutes a day, saying, okay, 5 minutes a day, I'm going to do what I can to fix this seemingly impossible situation. And that really does. I've seen again and again and again, it does work miracles. And I have to just remind myself when I'm in that problem and it seems so insurmountable and so impossible, to remind myself of the power of small, consistent steps. 5 minutes a day. And not getting into complete panic mode. Okay? Okay, this is an important one. I'm going to have to explain it. Outside of my tripod of objectivity, it generally doesn't matter what others think of me or my children. Okay, so what's a tripod of objectivity? Tripod of objectivity is something, it's a Rabbi Niven concept, you probably guessed. What it means is that in life, we're supposed to have a tripod of objectivity, meaning a teacher, a friend, and a student to kind of keep us in line. So if we ever have questions like, are we going on the right path? The people to look to are our tripod of objectivity. So me, for example, my tripod of objectivity, I have certain rabbis who are my rabbi. My husband's also a rabbi, so they're like up there in my rabbi role that I consult with and get their opinion. I have certain friends who are close friends whose opinion I really value. And then also students. You're actually my student, my Jewish mom readers, and my children are in the student role. So if I don't know if I'm going in the right path, I look to those people. So if there's a case, I recently had a situation. The reason I wrote this is because sometimes, let's say you'll say something. Sometimes I'll say something to someone I don't know so well, and I'll get kind of a judgmental reaction, get kind of like a reaction like, why am I making such a big deal out of this? Or something just like a disempowering kind of experience when I express something I feel to another person. And it can be very, very disempowering when you say something that's something that's meaningful to you about your experience and the other person dismisses it. And so I wrote in response to this, I wrote, outside of my tripod of objectivity, my rabbis, my friends, and my students, it generally doesn't matter what others think of me and my children. Okay? It doesn't really matter. And this is a very important, very, very empowering thing to work on, something to believe, is that like it really doesn't matter what the world thinks about you, what every woman in your community thinks of you. It doesn't really matter. You have the people that you choose out because you value their opinion, okay? And their opinion matters, and really not really other people. Okay. Okay, so here's another one, another very important one. My job is to take my next small step in Avodat Hashem and serving Hashem, not to be perfect. So I had kind of an upsetting situation that there was someone who as like a one-time thing was working for us, and then they felt that we had treated them unfairly, and so basically, so then I decided, okay, the next time that I was going to do what I could on a small level to repair the situation, do what I could to repair the situation with this person, and the reason that this was like a big chiddush for me was because otherwise I'm like eating myself up, like I am so terrible and we are so terrible, and how could we have, this person thinks we did something unfair, and we're terrible people, and we're inconsiderate, and so instead of that and getting eaten up by all my feelings of like judging myself and like I am so terrible and I am so awful and I am the worst, okay? Saying, no, what can I do on a small level? What can I do to repair this situation? The next time I see this person, what can I do to fix it? As opposed to just getting into panic mode, actually taking a small tangible step to fix it, okay? Reading it again. My job is to take my next small step in serving Hashem, not to be perfect, okay? Okay, here's another important one. Living in accordance with my priorities means sometimes my to-do list has to wait while I take care of more important things. Okay, so sometimes, for example, so I have a to-do list, okay, of the things that I have to get done, but I had to go out to an important wedding. I had to go out to an important bris. I had to take a child to the doctor. There's like, in our lives, and then many things come up that are important, and that it ends up being that then our to-do list gets pushed aside. And this is something difficult for Jewish moms, at least for me, because then, then I come home from the important wedding, the important bris, and the important, doctor's appointment. I come back and, and the kitchen is a disaster, and there's no food for the week, and I haven't done various other things I need to do, okay? And like and the laundry is rotting in the washing machine, and but sometimes that has to happen. Sometimes, Rabbi Niven, he says, sometimes with the to-do list, it can become like an avodah zarah, become like an idolatry with the to-do list. And we can say, oh no, it's on the to-do list, that has to happen first. We have to go through first, but no, you don't want to have like an idolatry of like the to-do list. Sometimes there are things that are more important than the to-do list, okay? So do them when you have to, do those important things. and slowly you will recover. It'll be okay. So here's another important one. If I put in the hishtadlut, if I put in the effort to overcome something, Hashem can enable me to succeed. Okay? So I'm going to read that again. If I put in the hishtadlut, if I put in the effort to overcome something, Hashem can enable me to succeed. So often in life, then we think, we see an issue in our lives, and we think, I cannot overcome this. I'm not brave enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not wealthy enough. I don't have enough time. I'm not talented enough to do this. I'm not a leader enough to do this. But really, a very, very important thing to understand, I was just learning about this in Rabbi Niven's Chabura, is that we don't really do anything. We don't do anything. Hashem does everything. And it's true, we make an effort, but really, really nothing will get accomplished if Hashem doesn't decide to make that happen for our efforts to succeed. And that's very, very freeing, because it has nothing to do with how intelligent I am, how smart I am, how wealthy I am, how much time I have, how much of a leader I am, how much anything I am. It doesn't matter, because Hashem is everything. Okay? So any challenge that you have, you just put in your effort, and Hashem, you might have limitations, but Hashem doesn't. Hashem can make anything happen. That's a very powerful thing that I would like to make that a part of my life. Okay, so moving on. Some people have more stamina and some people have less, and that is not something to feel inferior or superior about. This is a very important thing, because I think, like, as mothers, we look around and we see, like, the mother. I have a neighbor, for example, who is a doctor, and she works the night shift, and she's also a mother of, I think, 6 children, and she doesn't sleep. She doesn't sleep. She works the night shift, and then she takes care of her toddler in the morning, and then she must get maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep a day, if that. And I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how that's humanly possible. But she does it. And so, like, if I look at her and I compare my level of stamina with hers, because, like, I need a lot more sleep than her, to be function and to be normal and to feel good and to stay healthy. And so, but no comparing here. Okay, she's got more stamina, I've got less stamina. No comparing. Some people have more stamina and some people have less, and that is not something to feel inferior or superior about. Because sometimes I look at women who have less stamina than I am, like, oh, they have less stamina than I am, oh, they're really losers. No, don't go there. Everyone has their own bodies, everyone has their own needs. No judgment, no worship, no looking up to those people, looking down on those people. Stop it. Okay, everyone just deal with your own situation and just be okay with it. Okay. And this is a related one. This might be my last one. This is my last one. Okay. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and that's not something to feel inferior or superior about. So, you go to, I bring my son every morning to his gan, and I see, the gan, and she's this kind of a certain kind of Israeli Sephardi woman, the oldest of, I think, 11 children. You come in, in the morning, it's like mamash spotless. And of course, then she's making French toast for her children, and I see her and how she manages and how and the homemade challahs and everything, and I think, wow, look at her and look at me. Think of my house and my, the lack of the smell of fresh baked challahs and the mess and but stop. I do my things. I have, this woman doesn't have a blog. This woman doesn't, I don't think that I assume that she's not a good writer. I assume that she's never even thought of writing anything for publication. And, I have my strengths and she has her strengths, and just stop the comparisons. It's something that it's so automatic to us, but something I've really been working on with the Belief Notebook that's really made it clear to me is just stop. Just stop the comparisons. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and that's not something to feel inferior or superior about. Okay, so in conclusion, this is a really, really powerful tool. I learned it in Rabbi Niven's Belief Notebook Chabura. And what you do basically, this is all you have to do, is every day you sit down and you write down a disempowering experience, an experience that made you feel bad about yourself, the false belief it brought up, and the true belief that you really, the true belief. And you'll find it, especially if you review your true beliefs, it really changes you. It really helps you to see your life in a much clearer way, in a much more true way. So I want to bless all of you, Jewish ones, with an amazing week.